So hello, my name is Sherry. I'm a product marketer at Monzo. We've heard from some amazing people today, heard about frameworks and challenges and stuff. My talk's going to be a little bit different. Monzo's product marketing team is really young, so I'm going to be talking through a case study of how our very young product marketing team is beginning to reposition Monzo. So before we get onto that, a little bit about me. So I joined Monzo a year ago next week. I helped to establish the discipline. I was the first product marketer. I've worked with pretty much every product squad there, and I'm now spending most of my time in the salaries main account squad. Hopefully this presentation will make it a bit clearer what that means. Before that, I was at another fintech startup called Tide. You may have seen ads plastered all over the tube and the bus by Tide. I was employee number 9 there. I helped to set up the marketing strategy and the brand and launch the app. And before that, I was a management consultant at a place called Capco. It's been a while since I've been a management consultant, so my slide abilities are not what they once were. Please be nice. Yeah. So I assume that most people know what Monzo is, but just in case, we're a bank that lives on your phone. And we've recently been awarded the title of the UK's most recommended brand, which is huge. We're pretty young, only founded in 2015. We're the fastest growing bank in the UK with over 3.5 million customers, and we're welcoming over 40,000 new customers every week. So growth is not a problem, it's huge. And the great thing is, the majority of that is totally organic, word of mouth. And our mission's pretty simple. It's to make money work for everyone. And what that really means is, regardless of whatever your financial need is, you should be able to come to Monzo and we help you meet it. It could be through us directly, or it could be through a partner. So we're doing a lot of that with our savings pots. We don't actually offer the savings ourselves, but we link you through to a partner who has appetite to take on your savings. So that's the goal for Monzo. Now for a little bit of audience participation. I've made some assumptions. If this goes badly, you just need to pretend it didn't, and it's fine. So hands up if before today you knew what Monzo was. Yay! Okay, cool. Keep them up if you have a Monzo account. And keep them up if you use Monzo for day-to-day spending or if you've ever used it traveling. Cool. So take a look around the room. It's not a bad number. Now, keep your hands up if you use Monzo as your main account or you get your salary paid into it. Take a look around the room. I think you know what our challenge is. So a couple of years ago, our CEO and co-founder, Tom Blomfield, wrote on a blog post that our singular focus was to be the best current account in the world, and that hasn't changed. But today, what people know about Monzo is something a little bit different. They know us as a secondary account. So people love us as this app that you have on your phone that helps you with your budgeting and your spending. It's amazing for not paying fees when you're traveling, and helps you get good visibility over your spending. And all of those things are true, and we got that through our user research. All of those things are true, and Monzo is all of those things. But that was never our mission. As we've seen, our mission was to build the best current account in the world, and we've made good progress on that goal. We've built great lending products, so overdrafts and loans. We've got great savings products. We've even got cool things like energy switching in the app. But still, predominantly, people know us as a spending card. So the purpose of today is to talk to you a little bit about how, when product marketing was looking at that problem, how we approached it, and kind of the challenge that's on our hands. And it's a work in progress, so we're really at the beginning of this journey. Ooh. But we think that product marketing is best placed to lead on this, and that's what we've been doing. So I'm going to talk you through some of the work that we've been doing. So, like good product marketers, we started the process by listening, understanding what it is that people already love about us, which was a lot. So first thing, 24/7 support was fairly standard from your bank. Fee-free spending overseas. Smart budgeting. Saving with pots. And instant spending notifications. So 3 out of 5 of those things are about spending. It's all very spend-centric. And how are we talking about our product? It shouldn't come as much of a surprise that people see us as a spending card. If you take a look at, Monzo is really well known for producing helpful content about financial problems and guidance, things like that. And they pretty much always focus on spending. So here we're talking about how Nudge Theory can control your spending. Our first venture into out-of-home, which was about a year ago, this time last year, our cards were front and center of the campaign, and our cards are a great marketing tool. In fact, user research has shown that a lot of people join Monzo just because they see the brightly colored card and they ask their friends what it is. So it's been great for our organic growth, and it's been huge, but it doesn't do much to stop people from thinking of us as just a card when it's the cornerstone of the marketing. Another thing that Monzo is pretty well known for is the community. So someone mentioned before, Brittany, I think it was, talking about how a great brand will really nurture its early adopters. That's exactly what Monzo did back when it was Mondo. Ooh, Freudian slip. And what we love doing is sharing images from our community. But the overwhelming majority of those images are around travel. So you see all of those things reiterate what everyone already knows about us. And we were also, I guess, kind of championing that by putting all of those things out there too. This is a snapshot from our website back in July 2019. So we're a bank, right? Take a look at this website. Is this what you'd expect to see from a bank? The first thing you see on there is about budgeting and travel. So again, reiterating the idea that we're a spending card that you can use on the side. There's nothing really here that makes you think this is a fully fledged current account. But at this point, we already had all of the things that make you a fully fledged current account. You scroll down a little bit further, we talk about managing your money, but what we talk about is spending budgets, an easy summary, instant notifications. But if I asked any one of you what managing your money is, you wouldn't just talk to me about spending, you talk to me about a whole host of things. You talk to me about possibly your loan or overdraft, savings. It's obviously so much bigger than spending, but that's all that we were bringing to the table. And we're sharing a common use case of using Monzo. We're showing an £8 spend at Costa Coffee. So again, back to the listening stage. We asked our customers who love us and were super active. On average, active Monzo customers open their app 15 times a week. So we're lucky that they're super engaged. They love us. They're really happy with us as this secondary spending account. We asked them why they hadn't started using Monzo as a main account. And to be fair, we hadn't done much to push them there. And overwhelmingly, the responses were pretty rational. They told us that they didn't really see the need to switch. What they had right now worked. They like having Monzo on the side. They really enjoy the separation of money because it means you put money in a Monzo account, and I'm sure this is the same for many of you. You put money in a Monzo account, you can spend it without worrying that you're potentially going to spend your rent money on pizza or basically just wasting away your important money. And ultimately, a lot of these things are down to inertia. So people don't know what good looks like when it comes to a main account. People don't know, in the same way that Monzo kind of revolutionized spending with the notifications and the little sound and the cool card, nobody's done that for your main account usage. No one's done that for your bills. And so they don't really know what good looks like, and they're pretty happy with their main accounts. And also, talking a little bit about trust. So Monzo's done loads to be trustworthy. We've got amazing security stats. We're better at stopping identity theft and card fraud. But we're not really shouting about all of these amazing reasons that mean you should trust Monzo. So we went away, did a ton more user research, did a ton more user analysis and data analysis to understand what the customer problem was. And we went away and built stuff that we think met that need. So internally we called it 3.0. So we built something called salary sorter and bills pods, which essentially mean that you can use Monzo as a 3-in-1 account. So a lot of people telling us that they were using Monzo as their spending account, a legacy bank like HSBC or Barclays as their bills account, and possibly saving in either Monzo or the other account. But what we've essentially done with salary sorter and bills pods is enabled people to use Monzo as a 3-in-1 account. So they want separation of money, they love Monzo for separation of money, they trust us for that. How can we make it easy to bring the rest of their money into Monzo as well? On bills pods as well, paying bills is never fun. I don't think any of you can tell me that paying bills is fun. In fact, it's the opposite of fun. But what we've tried to do is make bill paying as easy as possible. So we give you helpful notifications to let you know if you're going to be overspending, if your bill's going to be higher this month than last month. And then we tackled the customer delight. We introduced something called Get Paid Early. I won't bore you with the details, but essentially your salary payment is confirmed the day before at around 4 p.m. So in theory, a bank can give it to you fairly risk-free at that point, but they don't. But that's exactly what Monzo's done. So we allow people to get their salary the afternoon before, for no extra cost. And we're starting to shout about the reasons why Monzo's safe and you can trust us for your main account as well. This leads us to a new positioning. So the essential pillar is that you've got visibility over all your money in one account. Your spending, saving, and bills, each in their own place. Payday just got even better with Get Paid Early. Bills are now stress-free because you know that they'll be paid out of your bill spot, and you can trust us too. So we're really emphasizing all the reasons why people can trust Monzo. What does that mean for our creative, and how are we talking about our product now? So this is a snapshot from our website today. This, to me, looks a lot more like a bank account. We're emphasizing the word bank. We're surfacing a salary payment on the screen, not an £8 cost of coffee transaction. We're mentioning the account switch. If you look at the menu at the top, before it was just things like blog, FAQ, about. Now we're talking about all the different pillars of banking that you'd expect to see from any high street bank. And we're surfacing the FSCS logo as well. So from the get-go, building that trust. Scroll down a little further, we're still talking about managing your money, but the whole suite of it. So saving and borrowing if you need it. Across our social channels, we're starting to weave getting paid and paying your bills and sharing finances with your housemates and saving into the conversation. We're engaging our customers in a savings challenge. And how we're measuring it. So as any one of you can expect, if I ask you to change the center of your financial life, it takes a while. It takes a while for people to want to reposition everything towards Monzo. So rather than just, obviously the core thing there is understanding how many main account users we have over time, and that's always going to be the main metric. But we're also looking at how many people start to gradually increase their usage of Monzo from a spending account to also opening a savings pot with us, or maybe looking at the overdraft section. And of course, we've got a huge user research function at Monzo, so we're always going to be tracking sentiment and seeing how they feel about us there. I can't share exact numbers, but I can tell you that it's working. So on the x-axis, you can see the day since the new customer cohorts have joined Monzo, and the y-axis, you'll see their main account usage, and you can see consistently that that's increasing. So it's early days. If any of you are Monzo customers, you'll be able to keep your eyes out for the updates that we're going to be making, but I think the natural home next for it is in the app. So yeah, hopefully that's what's next. That was really quick. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I didn't see any questions in the Slido app. Maybe they'll come in. Pro tip, when you expand to America, don't call them pods.
Okay, that's actually very poignant because we're launching in America, so
okay, yeah, maybe bill buckets. I was like literally staring at the slide. I was like, what is a bill pod?
That is very good.
But yeah, maybe bill buckets or something. Any live questions? We can do like it's the 90s where you just shout them out.
Cool. I'd be really interested to know how you would have approached this challenge. We're a very young product marketing function, so either catch me later or message me on LinkedIn to let me know.
Was that a question?
Would do.
Oh yeah, here it comes.
Yeah, so how are you dealing with banks basically trying to copy or imitate what you guys are doing?
Yeah, good question. I think we've seen that a lot of the Monzo features that we've introduced and a lot of challenger banks have introduced are being copied by the banks, but let's take freezing your card as an example. Monzo released that in 2016. It took quite a while for the big banks to catch up. So it's not a huge concern for us that the big banks are copying our features, and ultimately they're good for customers, right? And that's the dream. If we're able to like improve the financial services industry and build products that are more customer centric and they go out to more customers, that's great. But I think ultimately we're not super worried because the speed of innovation on the challenger side is so much quicker that, yeah, probably not a long-term concern, but it's always good to see those new products rolled out.
Amazing. Actually, a bunch of questions just came in here, so I'm going to do that. Okay. Anonymous says, my bank changed their marketing communications with me badly, trying to compete with your USPs badly. Why so keen for others to see you as a traditional bank? I feel like this is delved into bank customer service and not product marketing, but we'll roll with it.
Yeah, no, I actually see that more as a perception question. So to be clear, we're not trying to be seen as a traditional bank, but we did say that our mission was to be the best current account in the world and to make money work for everyone. And we simply can't do that if we're just a spending card. We want people to trust us the way they trust their high street banks. We want people to put their money in Monzo the way they put it into a high street bank, but we don't want to be seen as a traditional bank. Just a slight distinction.
What came first for you, positioning or identifying / building the features you built for 3.0?
That's a really good question. It was a little bit of both. So we were always doing user research to try and understand how we could make Monzo a main account home. And it was both, we knew that we were going to be building these features, and we also saw a really great opportunity to reposition Monzo together and to start reiterating the trust thing. So kind of they happily coincided.
Great. Seems like a lot of the new messaging is around features. Is that because they have implied value, like megapixels?
Don't really know what megapixels means.
Does anybody know what megapixels are? Or whoever asked it want to clarify? Going once, and you're skipped. Have the customers you surveyed who said they wouldn't move now have?
So I don't know exactly who has moved, but yes, we're starting to see a lot more interest from existing customers in moving. But again, we know that it's going to be really slow. And actually one of the cool projects I'm working on now is understanding the effective frequency. So how many times do we need to tell people that Monzo is now a home for your main account before they actually make that switch? We're seeing a lot more success with new customers though, because obviously like the website, for example, now repositions Monzo. But yeah.
Next question is, how many people are on your team now?
So in the product marketing team, there's myself, my colleague Jack in lending, Tom, my colleague on the paid side, and another person in lending, so 4.
Great. And how might your PMM strategy change in light of a very possible recession in the UK and other places?
Great question. Not one that I thought about, but I will now. Thank you for flagging that as a potential issue.
A relevant question, comment that I've been thinking about a lot lately is like some of these product marketing tactics are super strategic and can often be very long tail. Like, for example, I imagine like bank movement takes a long time. For example, like getting a product team to instrument like tracking the right metrics so that you can claim hard claims with customers. Like it's like a 3-year-long endeavor, and we all stay at companies for 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, how are you balancing long-term strategy with like short-term kind of results? And I find politics and like self-development happen. Like, how are you guys balancing long-term versus short-term?
Yeah, so I think that's a really good question, because everything else at Monzo happens really, really quickly, and whenever we roll stuff out, we usually see huge uptake, but this is the first thing that's happening, like generally pretty slowly. So I think that it is a challenge, and we are constantly having to back up our results with user research to show that it is going to be a slow process. I don't know if that really answers your question, but it's just kind of how we're approaching the challenge.
Is there much traction on your savings pots? Are you competing with investment platforms?
Yes, they're pretty popular. I don't have stats on the top of my head because I don't work on the savings team, but they seem to be doing well. Are we competing with investment platforms? I guess you mean the likes of like Nutmeg and Free Trade. No, we're not. We currently offer our savings products through partners. And if we were to offer investment products, I'm guessing they would also go through those platforms as well. We partner up. That was always Monzo's goal, to have the hub and spoke model and to be a financial marketplace. So my hunch is that's what we do. But right now, no, it's more of like just a cash savings platform.
How are you changing the perception of Monzo as a millennial bank? Not sure 40 plus would see themselves in the new website.
Good question. I think we never really liked the phrase millennial bank. I think we were just a bank that was popular with millennials. And it's not like millennials don't have those financial needs. They also need to pay their bills and to pay their mortgage and to pay their rent. So I think it's just kind of stepping up to the same financial needs that our customers already had, rather than us trying to change the perception. So yeah.
Might be interesting as aging parents start needing help with things, as like millennials start helping shepherd that change. Starting to deal with that myself. Okay, I think that's all for Sherry. Thank you so much.
Thank you.